Hey there, welcome to day 313 of our Let's Grow annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we are talking about number 8 tip and tool of our no nonsense November. Every day in November, and I've skipped a few years since I started doing it, but I think last year I did it. I think the year before I skipped. But the whole point is, every year I like to reflect and think about my biggest personal and business lessons learned and share those as tips as well as a tool to deal with that particular challenge or lesson learned that came up in my life. Sometimes I share the story of how I learned that lesson. Sometimes I've learned it over and over and over again. And so I don't always share the story of that. Sometimes a new one pops into my mind. It's like, okay, this is the perfect story for today. It's about time I learned my lesson on that. Well, today's tip and tool is gratitude. Gratitude, and I talk about it a lot. It's one of my very favorite, and it's actually a secret weapon because most people on the planet, especially, going through the election and things now, people aren't being grateful for what is. They aren't uh, looking at the upside of things. They're just, if their candidate didn't win, they're angry and they're licking their wounds, and they're going through the whole grieving process. If their candidate did win, they're celebrating and not necessarily doing it in a way that honors the people that got beat up, because it's just like any other negotiation or any other situation. Sometimes there's winners, sometimes there's losers, and mostly there's neither. There's just how we choose to view and see that. And to me, that's where gratitude comes in. Gratitude is being appreciative and looking for the upside, looking for what's in it for you, what's in it for me, because that's what we naturally do as humans. And gratitude, again, it's one of those things that we're mired in the situation and we're frustrated over something that isn't going the way we think it should, yet there's always more good things happening in our lives than there are bad things. It's just the bad things usually overshadow the good things. So if we can spend more time and energy focusing on what's working, what's right, what's good, what's what we've done and succeeded at and are grateful for, those are the things that will create more of in our life. Because why? I didn't make this up. The law of attraction says what you think about comes about. So whether you're aware of it consciously or not, so we want to always be on the lookout for ways to be appreciating what we want more of, and then minimizing and not forgetting to learn the lesson, but minimizing the negativity of things and mistakes that we've made, because we're all going to make mistakes. We all do. We're human. That's how we learn. I swear I have learned more from the mistakes I've made in my life than I've ever learned from the things I did right in the first place. Because if I do them right in the first place, there's no room for me to improve. But if I mess something up, or if I think, oh, how could I do this better? There's definitely room and possibility for me to improve and create things that I didn't even imagine possible. So our tool today to go along with our gratitude, which is our tip, is journaling. Create a gratitude journal. Now, I've had a gratitude journal for, I don't know, at least since before 2010, but in 2010 for sure I started a gratitude journal following my sudden cardiac arrest. Why? Because I was just freaking grateful to still be here on the planet, able to live my life, see my children, enjoy my grandchildren, etc. And that was actually before my grandchildren were born, but I wanted to see my granddaughters someday, or grandchildren someday. I just happen to be blessed with all granddaughters. So journaling, we've talked about journaling a lot before too. If you want more information on gratitude journals, you can go ahead and look through this challenge, because we've talked about it, as well as the Get Up and Go challenge private Facebook group page. There we did 2 years worth of challenges, and we talked about gratitude and gratitude journals for sure. Uh, if you need more help, you can see, I believe we've got Vicky's story today in Guide to the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. You can see how she used gratitude and gratitude journals to impact and influence her life and create the life she wanted. Like I said, I've got my own gratitude practice, and I used to journal every morning and every night, or every morning and every night. I've experimented with it a lot to find out which worked best for me. Right before I go to bed works best for me if I'm going to write in my gratitude journal. I automatically, every morning when I get up and during the day randomly, and I used to set alarms on my phone to remind me to be grateful for something and think of something I was grateful for, to make it a habit and just an automatic part of my being. And then before bed, I always think of at least 3 things I'm grateful for from the day. And maybe it's just an experience I had with one of my granddaughters. Maybe it's a experience I had or an interaction or a conversation I had with one of my clients. Maybe it's talking to my mom. Maybe whatever it is, I make sure that I recall those 3 things, whether I write them down now or not. But we want to write things down until it becomes a habit for us to automatically be appreciative for things. At least that's how it's worked for me. You have to figure out, again, with all of these tips and tools and strategies and everything you learn, you have to say, well, how does this apply to me? How could this apply to me? How might I use this? How will I test it and tweak it? And then actually make it your own, right? Gratitude was just something that I would remember to do periodically until I consciously decided it was such a powerful tool. I needed to make it my own. And so I went through a bunch of tests and trials and errors and then figured out, using different people's gratitude journals. If you want a gratitude journal and you don't know where to start, there are literally thousands of them online. Just go search gratitude journal and you will get thousands of ones. Pick the one that resonates with you, start there, and then continually improve your gratitude process. All right. Any questions about this? What are we going to do today? We are going to be grateful for at least 3 things. I don't care when you do it, sometime today, but write them down. Even if you write them down on a scrap of paper and throw that scrap of paper away later, you've still done the process and begun bringing gratitude into your life. All right. That's all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day and I'll be with you tomorrow.